one of the most fascinating, interesting things with this CBA, if when the deal gets done, is being able to talk about what the team, the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark might look like going forward. Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate all your support. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Of course, shout out to the 19. So, and shout out, man. And I just blanked on who the user was, but I recognize the name because someone was upset at a few videos. I didn't do the hope you have a fantastic day thing. Um, but so there you go. There it is. Okay. So here we've got Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Michaela Timpson. That's it, folks. Now we talked about how the team's going to look very, very different because with the injuries and all, right, so many players played for the team this year. Now, again, the team could end up being 14. That could be part of the CBA, so it could be a bigger roster. We also have, of course, the expansion draft, which is going to be really interesting because one of their two teams, how many are they going to get to protect? But again, the Fever only have three players under contract anyway. Although Lexi Hull is restricted, which we'll get into a second. That's the thing I was going to say. So we've got. Let me just make sure I have this right in terms of what they look like. Right, we've got Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, Michaela Timpson. They're all under contract. Kelsey Mitchell is an unrestricted free agent, but they can core her. Okay, so even if they think it's in their best interest, even if she's kicking and screaming that she wants to leave, they can still core her and bring her back if they wanted to do that. So there's a little bit of, well, we'll see how it goes in there as well. They can, of course, re-sign Lexi Hull. That is entirely up to them because she is a restricted free agent. Now, what gets tricky is, and if she's smart, she'll do it. Lexi Hull goes looking. Someone makes her an offer for a good amount of money. Then it's up to the Fever. What they have to do to keep her is match that. And depending on what all of their other things they have going on are in terms of building their roster, they could end up deciding, you know what? That's too much for us to keep Lexi Hull. Hopefully not. So, and then everyone else, let me just double check. I want to make sure everyone else, I believe, yeah, everyone else is literally, except Bibby, everyone else is unrestricted. And Bibby is reserved free agent, which means, I want to make sure I have this right. They make everything so tricky. So we got, okay, the Fever can give her a 1 year unprotected deal, and she can't negotiate with other teams because of the type of contract she signed with Indiana, signing for the rest of the year, and being that she has, I think, 3 years or less in the league. Everyone else unrestricted. So Natasha Howard, Sophie Cunningham, Brianna Turner, um, did I say Natasha Howard? I think I said Natasha Howard, Ariel Powers, Ari McDonald, Odyssey Sims, all of these players are unrestricted. You got Caitlin Clark, you got Aaliyah Boston, and you've got Michaela Timpson. You can core Mitchell, you can match on Hull, and you can give Bibby a contract. So there's it. So what should the Indiana Fever do? And by the way, that's like this. I don't know if it's as bad and might be worse for some teams. I'm going to dig in because I want to get into this offseason about who is available, who's really likely to switch and go to the Fever. What does that look like with the other players, right? Because it's also not just about signing superstars, as we found out this last offseason. It's about signing the pieces that fit into a team that can win a championship. Now, I want to set aside the Stephanie White stuff, okay? Because like last video I did, and I talked about Kelsey Mitchell and what she said, and I just want to look at it from a basketball perspective without that in terms of players. And so what I'm saying is, obviously, the three under contract we bring back, we they would have won a championship already if I was the manager, general manager, or coach. I'm just saying. Yes. Core Mitchell, so that's four. Re-sign Lexi Hull. That's five. And those are all things under their control. And then sign Sophie Cunningham. That's the six. And then for the rest of it, we go hunting for the pieces that fit in to build a championship, which very well could mean bringing back a bunch of the players that played this year. I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm a big fan of Aerial Powers. I think whether it's Ari McDonald or Odyssey Sims, you've already had someone that played here that enjoyed playing here in terms of getting a backup point guard. So you could re-sign either one of those instead of going looking elsewhere for one. But those are my six: Clark, Boston, Timpson, Mitchell Hall, sign Sophie Cunningham if possible, and then go looking for the pieces that fit around there. And I want to touch on Kelsey Mitchell a little bit because I think this is really important because, as always, you're going to get people that no matter what you say, they're going to twist it or misunderstand it on purpose so they can make a point they think they're making that to shout you down. It's like I've said the most obvious example is you could just in this world today, you could say, "Oh, I love blue," and inevitably someone's going to come back and say, "Why do you hate orange so much, you bigot?" Wait, what? What? So as a player, I love Kelsey Mitchell as a player. Again, best shooting guard in the WNBA. And in my mind, and this is why I said forget about Stephanie White, the Kelsey Mitchell and the Caitlin Clark tandem that played post Olympic break in 2024 when Christy Side said, Caitlin, do your thing, run the team. We're going to go high tempo. We're going to go fast. We're going to run as often as possible. We're going to shoot early in the clock. The ball's going to be in your hands all of the time. And the way the team and Kelsey Mitchell, right? You look at Kelsey Mitchell's numbers post Olympic break, astronomical numbers. I believe she actually averaged more points per game post Olympic break in 2024 than she did this season in 2025 when she was all WNBA. If you are telling me that is how they're going to run the game, how the system is going to be in Indiana, which is why I said take away Stephanie White, I am 100% all on board for Kelsey Mitchell being here because that is, and it's not even close, the best bat. I don't care about Sabrina Ionescu. I don't care about Chelsea Gray. Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark, playing the way they played post Olympic break in 2024 is by far the best backcourt in the WNBA. It is a completely different level than anything else that the league has to offer. And if you are going to tell me that is the Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark tandem that we are going to see in 2026, I am 100% and higher if you can do it on board with that backcourt, with bringing back Boston. Because again, Boston will get her. She will eat. All three of those players will eat if they go back to playing the way they did post Olympic break. Lexi Hull is just one of those players that you need on a team if you want to compete for a championship. And we all know what Sophie Cunningham brings to the table. I believe she was the best shooter in the league. Like if you're doing the total shooting percentage, or was it effective field goal percentage, either one. She was the best in the league, number one by far. Fantastic addition to the team. And then you take those and you build around them and you play up tempo, you play fast pace, you play Caitlin Clark on the ball at all times, not this off the ball crap. And you don't play this slow down nonsense and you don't give it to Kelsey Mitchell to go ISO all of the time. You let her play her game off of Caitlin Clark. Championship. Championship. I mean, you could easily have Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston in the top 5 voting for MVP, all three of them being first team all WNBA. Yes, I am serious. That's how good they can be if we stop with the training wheels, stop with the parking brake, stop with all the old narrative WNBA nonsense, Stephanie White, Amber Cox, Kelly Krauskopf. Let them go, and you will see things that you have never seen before in women's basketball, and it'll be some of the most exciting basketball you will ever see. You will tune out of the NBA to watch that Indiana Fever team play. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Appreciate you checking out the video. As always, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Go have the day you deserve. I will talk to you later.